Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 25 live feed spoilers. Happy finale week?
Mm-hmm.
Question mark? Is it a happy finale week? How are we all feeling? How are we doing? Let's get a temperature check here.
Hey, your winner's pick is in the top 3. My winner's pick just went home.
I've had a very interesting journey with my winner's pick
Mm-hmm.
here. I went from liking him and thinking he was a terrible player to thinking, oh, you're actually pretty good at the game, to then him saying some rather unlikable stuff in the house and then openly rooting against him
Mm-hmm.
versus Felicia. And here we are, everyone, after what we have seen over the past few days. Questionable moves aplenty.
Yeah, there is. Like I said, Felicia, my winner pick, she's gone. Jag won the final 4 veto and evicted Felicia. So, congratulations to her for getting this far. I mean, that's pretty good. People that are my age or a little bit older than me, sort of in that same, getting to like 50s and 60s, like we don't make it that far on the show.
Yeah, massive kudos to Felicia.
Yeah.
Final 4, yes, she was very messy at times. Yes, she spoke way more than she should have
Yeah.
about Suri in particular, but just live feed entertainment. Cast more people like Felicia. Her stories were great. Her backstory itself is amazing. Just all the little things. She's such a unique, really fun house guest.
Mhm.
I'm really grateful she was on this show. I'm happy that she was there, and yes, I am bummed that she is not in the final 3. And guess what, Jag? You may be bummed that she was not in the final 3 by the time all of this ends.
I know. I don't know about these moves, but we're definitely going to get into it. But hit that subscribe button. We are still here for the rest of the week, giving you more live feed updates. On Friday, we'll be talking about who won and how we feel about that whole thing. The reason we're not going to have it up a little bit earlier, like Thursday, is because For All Mankind is premiering, and we're really excited about that. We're going to be covering that here at the channel. November is really busy here.
Yep.
So if you guys are interested in hitting that subscribe button, I mean, we've got For All Mankind, The Curse, Beacon 23, Fargo, A Murder at the End of the World. Like, the list goes on. It is very busy. Plus, of course, Survivor, which is still going on.
This is going to be a very, very fun month. And hopefully there will be some fun stuff to talk about through the rest of Big Brother. But okay, let's just start by dissecting this. Was this the right move for Jag? Because as of Sunday morning, like, he actually seemed like he was going to get rid of Matt and that he had done all of his emotional hand wringing. Am I a good person? Does loyalty matter more than game? And he even realized that getting rid of Matt made it very, very likely that he would win. So the awareness was there. This was not a move made out of some element of delusions of grandeur, thinking I am going to steamroll anybody. Like, he knew that Matt was a threat.
Yeah, he did. And it's seemingly he's picked friendship over money.
I just
In a game for money. Like, I feel like if he had made that move, that Matt they would have been friends after the show. If he made this move against Bowie Jane, I don't know that I feel the same about that. Like, she may have held on to a grudge about that, but I don't think Matt would have.
No, I think Matt would have more than understood. Like, Matt has talked in the past about getting rid of Jag around this point. Like, there was all that talk we mentioned here about his conversations with Suri. I think Matt would have understood at the end of the day, and it's just such a befuddling move from the vantage point of you have known, your friends, your family, everybody in the real world for the entirety of your life. And when you win, like, you enrich the whole world around you, and you have this title that means so much, and to just run this risk because somebody is your buddy. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I understand that you become really close. You don't want to hurt people's feelings. It's a very natural thing to want to ride it out with somebody, but $750,000 it's just a lot of money, and it's so much money. Like, I would feel bad but I would still make the move 100 times out of 100. And I'm not Mr. Come on here and be like, I could do better if you put me in this situation. This is just the situation where I know I would have made that move.
Yeah, and I don't know that I would have made that move. I like to think on the outside I would make that move, but when you're locked in a house with somebody for 100 days, like this game is really hard. And one of the reasons it's so hard is that you are with only these people for so long. That's why you see like showmances and you're like, it's a nothing. And people are saying, I love you after a couple of weeks, but it's like a couple of weeks locked up with the same people can feel like a couple of months. Like it's a weird experience.
Okay, now we get to have an interesting discussion here where do we just exclusively blame Jag? Do we blame production? Or do we praise Matt? Because there is a big, let's put the tinfoil hats on here. There's a big tinfoil hat community right now. Jag was in the diary room for a long time on Sunday. And it has led to a lot of people thinking that production influenced Jag to keep Matt in the game. So that Matt can win the game because according to the tinfoil hat community, Matt is the Big Brother 25 golden boy who got the magical letter from Riley that, everybody is still upset about, to the fact that a lot of, the not great things he has said and, all the discussing about what they could end up doing to Felicia, which, they didn't end up doing all of it, but they still had that discussion and none of that stuff has made the show. So do I think production wants to present Matt in a very favorable way? Yes. Do I think that production was like, evict Felicia or else? No, I do not.
No, but I think they probably gave enough leading questions that really led him to be like, oh, am I making the right choice? I'm sure they weren't in there being like, listen, we really like Matt, so, you need to do this. I don't think that happened. I've never thought that happens. But do I think that they could be leading questions where he would actually be like, why are they asking me this many questions about ABC? Why are they asking me in this way about this? Maybe I need to think about this. Maybe America feels a certain way about players that do AB. That's what I think happened, and I think it just got in his head. If he was in there for a long time, I feel like that questioning probably led him to switching around what he was doing. But the right move to do was before he went in there, which is get rid of Matt.
He needed to be steadfast in that approach. It's such a bad move. Such a bad move to keep Matt at this point. Like, maybe there's some mustard seeds chance here that Felicia could win the game if she's in the final three. But Matt is just a much more imposing physical player, a really good social player. And this is where I don't think Matt, my opinions about some of the things Matt has said and done aside, I don't think enough credit has been given to Matt for the move socially to build a bond with Jag that is so strong that Jag would keep him despite it not really being in Jag's best interest to do so. Like, they had some conversations while the feeds were down on Sunday, so we didn't really see all of it. But I tend to think that Matt must have said enough to where he would have made Jag feel incredibly guilty if Jag had made this move without pouring it on so thick that Jag was just like, man, Matt's really making me feel guilty. He towed that line really effectively, seemingly.
Yeah.
So credit to you there on Matt. And I'm sure Jag is probably just like, you know what? I have a final 2 deal with Matt. I got a final 2 deal with Bowie Jane. I've got options. I'm going to be fine.
Listen, that's part of it too, right? Like if he ended up evicting Matt and he kept Felicia, is Felicia going to take Jag? Probably not. So there is that to consider as well, where it's like, oh, Matt may take me, but Felicia's not going to take me.
Yeah, and I'm sure he did think about that. He'll probably come out and be like, it's such a harder decision than any of you guys know, which, I sympathize with some of this, but sometimes complicated things can also be very, very simple if you just drown out all of the noise. Just part it like the Red Sea, Jag. Yep. And you did not do this in any shape or form. And even, after Felicia's out there, she's saying to Julie that Jag may have cost himself the win. Yes, Jag may have cost himself the win. I don't think that is a particularly shocking statement to make.
No.
And even on the Jury House segment, Suri seemed particularly pro Matt, and she was a little bit less enthused about all of Jag's competition wins. Like, we talked already that that Corey seems to be holding it against Jag, that he was already evicted.
Mm-hmm.
Sari seems to be holding it against Jag of, okay, yeah, Jag, you won a lot of competitions, but you were competing against me and Felicia and Bowie Jane, not exactly the most stacked comp field in the world.
No, but I mean, those are the people that he's competing against. That's not his choice. That is just who he's competing against. So I don't know that Sari can really hold that against Jag. She shouldn't, because that's who's in the house. That's who he's competing against. He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, and some of that choice was him willingly being like, I don't want to play against other competition threats. Like, I understand the Corey side of it more than I do Sari, where it's just, if Matt goes up against Jag in the final two, and it's just like, without me, you would have left the house on that particular day. Like, that's a very good argument that is very hard for Jag to counter.
It's true.
All right, so now let's get into the final HoH.
Okay, Matt wins part 1 of the final HoH, and I mean, I don't know if anybody's like too surprised.
How's that feel, Jag? How's that feel? You keep Matt in the house. It's an endurance competition, seemingly involved cold water. What a surprise. The man who is a, Olympic caliber swimmer has no problem dealing with cold water, lasts for a substantial period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Just here's your slow clap, Jag. Congratulations. You could have had this so easy.
I know.
He says he doesn't seem to regret evicting Felicia in terms of his loyalty, but he does recognize Felicia would have done really bad in this competition.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got to sweat it out, Jag. It's Jag versus Bowie Jane in part 2, which at the time of this recording, it either has not started or, maybe it's underway while we're recording this. Yeah. But ultimately, the winner is not revealed as of yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Now, here's the thing. Let's just... I don't want to do this and just like completely jinx Jag, but let's just say that Jag wins part 2. And then it is Jag versus Matt in part 3. Like, they're already continuing this act that, okay, man, it's all right. We're going to take each other minute final 2. We've got this. Is that actually going to happen?
It's hard to know. I mean, no, it's hard to know.
Okay, I feel like that because Jag has a final 2 already with Bowie,
mm-hmm.
he will be more okay with cutting Matt at final 3 than he was at final 4. I could be taking, we talk about For All Mankind earlier. I could be taking a solar system sized L with this take, but I feel like he didn't have that much of a game relationship with Felicia. I don't think he felt like he really had some sort of inherent need or want to take her further. But, him and Bowie, they're close. They do have this final 2 deal. I think he could do it. I think he could cut Matt at final 3.
That he has to. Because if he cuts Bowie Jane, she's probably not going to give her vote to him. She'll just hold it over him. Like, it's the right thing to do. He can't bring Matt to the end. He'll lose.
Yeah, and he deserves to lose. And, and like we said at the start, I had Jag as my guy before this season, but you 1,000,000% deserve to lose if you take Matt to the end of this. Like, there's
yes.
no question. There's no debate.
No.
Too many people like Matt.
Yes.
Okay. Finally, we have to mention this just because Julie mentioned it at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
There's a holiday surprise to be revealed on the finale. This is hilarious, by the way, because the assumption that a lot of people are making, and this is just an assumption, nothing has been confirmed, that okay, maybe there's like some sort of like legend season or celebrity season that's happening in the holiday. It's so funny because I don't know how many other fandoms are out there where the producers, the network is like, here's more content. And all the fans are like, can you keep it? Can you hold on to it for a little while? We're not sure we want it.
That's exactly how I feel. Listen, we have we're coming up on 100 days. This is very long. If Julie comes out and she's like, by the way, surprise, here's, winter season. Like, I want to say we'll be back for it. But I don't know. Like, we're pretty burnt out. We have a pretty stacked November, December. Like, we would need a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I just don't understand the idea here other than that, okay, everything, is not starting for a little while longer because, the strikes have been going on. The
Mhm.
WGA one's over, SAG after one. Hopefully they're near the end and they need programming. But why not? She said holiday surprise. So holiday doesn't mean January. I would be more accepting at least of the idea if it was like, okay, we're going to put something on in January because then everybody has a chance to, I don't know, eat some turkey, wrap some gifts, kind of have like a little bit of a breather from all of this nonsense.
Yeah, it would be nice. I'm a little bit concerned they might have like a shorter version that's something like Celebrity or something else that they might run from like whatever mid-November to like mid-December or throughout December because they're just nobody has any programming. Like I know we've said that we're really busy and we
Yeah.
are because a lot of the streaming services have saved some of their shows for now, which makes the most sense because this is when everybody's really making all their money at the end of the year. But besides that, I mean, network TV is kind of like, what are we going to put on? Let's put on 100 days of Big Brother. We don't have anything else.
Maybe maybe this is CBS's revenge at the Big Brother fan base for being so demanding. We're going to get the Big Brother revenge season. Here's the cast. Paul, Frankie,
Oh,
Mr. Spectacular, who we like, but
I like
nobody
him.
else seems to.
No, I'm fine with
They're
that.
just going to cast a bunch of people to make everybody out there mad. No.
Yeah, Josh.
Oh, no. I've already seen enough of the challenge. I'm
No.
good. Okay. We'll see what happens there. But, we will be back as the week goes on to talk more about the finale. Hit that subscribe button, as Jess mentioned. So much coming up this month. Survivor as well.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to our patrons. We'll see you here next time.